I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, joined by my usual co-hosts, Tim Morse and Uncle Gary.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Today we're on episode 115. As
Ooh,
Tim called it, Caged Power. Today we are reviewing
Caged
Cage, issues
Power.
5 through 8.
What
I
is
don't know
it
about you
called?
guys, but I got
The
a
Evil
nap by me. The Evil and the
and
Cure.
the Cure.
It's a 4-part storyline. Story
That's
arc.
right.
We got some news. We got, we'll be having another random panel of the week. Last week on the Codex podcast, there was a new segment of variety or variant insanity. So we'll be having that come back again.
You
And,
can thank
of course, we
Sal
have
for that insanity because I'm just curious what it's going to be this week because nobody knows.
What happened last week?
Okay, so we tried out this new segment while Sonny was gone, and it's called Variant Insanity. And
Variant Insanity. So what's like Sal's all his Venom variants?
yes, that's exactly right. Every week, Sal is going to give us the information on the one comic book with the most variants out that week. Last week, it was Thundercats with 26 variants. That is insane.
So he's giving me the info. So I'll let you guys guess this week. And look at that. He's in the chat. We said his name and he showed up. And so did
Sal.
Snoopy.
Yeah, there he is.
Sal,
right there.
there he is.
Oh,
Hey, Sal.
Who else
Hey,
is
Sal.
here too?
There we go. Now we're talking.
Boom.
Now it's a party. Chris is here.
Oh,
Yes,
Chris, by the way, buddy, if you brush my hair, you got to cook breakfast in the morning. That's all I ask.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, he didn't say no, baby. That wasn't a no.
I haven't had fingers run through my hair in a while, so.
Oh, man. Well, I can't believe he's got nothing to say to that.
That man
ain't
give it a minute.
He ain't never speechless.
Nope, this is what he says. I'm in.
Hey, you be careful what he's talking about, what he's in.
Oh my God. He cooks a mean breakfast. Well, I hope you cook a happy breakfast because I don't want to be angry in the morning.
He's going to make you pancakes with smiley faces on them.
I'm okay with that.
And actually, Chris's lovely wife says that Chris is a good cook, a very good cook. So
guess we're going to have a cook-off.
Yeah, there you go. So, well, I don't cook except for in the bedroom, and I fucking smoke it there.
There's that.
There's that.
Oh, Sonny, it's good to have you back, man.
It's good to be back.
Sonny's like, what the hell did I come back to this for?
And look who's here, Richard. Never late, always on time.
Who's Richard talking to?
Everybody.
Gentlemen, what gentlemen?
Snoop, I'm definitely not going to ask now. I'm just going to eat it and be like, that's great. It's delicious.
Well, and you know what? He can use that for conditioner, too.
Oh, my God. Richard says, hi, Sonny. A long time no see on Codex.
Hey, Richard, I'm glad to be back. Had quite a few things going on each week, but now I'm back this week. So I'm very happy to be back and a great show planned for everybody, and great to be back with the usual. Like I said, a couple months ago, this was the usual 3, and then look at that, things happening, and it's all mixed up. But today it's back to us, the usual 3.
Sonny said he had a great show planned. That does not mean we're delivering that. Just
We'll
so
try.
you know, temper your expectations, people.
Gary, what we need to ask Sonny is what he never got to divulge, and that is his thoughts on Marvel 1985.
Ooh, there we go. So, Sonny, I liked it a lot and was surprised. I never read it.
Yeah, so for Marvel 1985,
Oh, he cut out.
Oh,
come on!
Sonny he didn't want to tell you what he thought of it.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's withholding. Sonny is withholding. That is like, yeah, baby, I'm going to give it to you right now, and then he pulls back.
Wow! Oh
Sonny,
my God!
That was teasing to the max.
and man, yeah. So there we go.
That's,
and now I don't think I'm ever going to talk about it again.
That's the
wow.
greatest.
Oh, well done. Well
Holy
played.
God.
Well played, Son-O.
So there we go.
Holy shit.
Oh, very good.
Snoop
Very
says Marvel 1985 is so fun. And
It was.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Still reading another comic. 1985 is next on my reading list. Rich, I am super excited to see how you think about it.
Yep.
Because you've never read it before. Chris, you and I will talk about it when I come up there in July. So we're at 98% right now, gentlemen.
He's 98%, Chris. I know.
I just got to get one thing fixed on my car, and then I'm golden.
I'll give you the update when it gets to 99, brother. When it tips up to 99.
There you go.
Guys, I will still be here. I just got to turn the light on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where'd Sonny go?
He's gone. It's magic
He's
trick.
gone. He's gone.
So while Dad's away, Gary, we can play. So
there we go. There you go. Let's tell Sonny that we did miss him. You know, so maybe he'll want to come back. You know, this is like Tinkerbell when she flitted out. Boys and girls, if you believe in Sonny, he'll come back. Just believe in him. Think positive thoughts. Oh,
there he is!
Yeah, there we go.
Turn those comic book pages, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Oh my Lord!
Oh.
I forgot because I had the sun blazing in my face. I forgot to turn on the lamp, and then now the sun's starting to go down. I'm like, in 20 minutes, my eyes are gonna be.
How can the sun ever go down on a dude named Sonny? How the hell can that happen? I believe. See, Snoop believes. That's why you came back. Snoop believed. Chris believed, and you appeared. Yay!
The magic of Codex. See, that's why people got to check out. Even on the pre-show, we have magic on the Codex podcast.
All those comic pages were turned so fast, Sonny. They brought you back.
They redid.
Slow down. Read your story.
Slow down. Can't get that one slabbed now. Turn the pages too much.
If you say Sonny 3 times, what happens, Richard?
I appear.
Do you have to look in a slab and say it, or do you have to look in an issue of Wolverine?
If you say Sonny 3 times, all your action figures just explode.
You just see me in the background just stomping them.
I
actually take really good care of the toys.
Sure. I mean, that
okay, that may happen off the top rope.
That was
broken off.
Most amazing episode ever. Sonny's bin of broken toys.
Every single one, from Backstreet Boys toys to McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
Sonny was using us to figure out which toys they were too.
Oh my
He's real slick
God.
about it. He wasn't sure. He goes, and I have this one, and he's like, what say the name? Say, oh yeah, it's that one. Mm-hmm.
I think Dan had the most fun in the chat while that was going on.
Yeah.
Dan got that from the vault. Yeah.
And then I got to show the figures what they should look like before they're destroyed. Oh no!
If you say Sonny 3 times, gaping holes appear.
Wow, that ain't good.
Oh my God!
Hey, that's not good. Be careful.
That's wonderful.
Oh my God. See, this thing's got a life of its own now.
See, if the pre-show is this good, just imagine how the regular show.
Hey, pre-show's so good, we might as well just wrap it up here and say we're not going to forget that.
Great job, everybody. Take care.
Great job. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. It was good. Nice.
It is off the walls, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, finish on a high note, baby. Finish on a high note.
Oh my God. What's on today's docket, Sonny? I know you started that 8 minutes ago, but
like I said, we got some news about we got comic book news, we got a video game news, we got Tim's heart's gonna get broken today, but we'll get on to that later.
Oh no!
That's why I wear my Joker shirt because I'm happy.
Oh, he's happy.
We got the Variant Insanity. We got the random panel of the week. Somebody's ready to do some butt pounding.
Oh.
We got an F lister.
That's every day of the week, baby.
Interesting.
Holy shit. Okay.
Well, sometimes afterwards.
Sonny, here's a question for you. Rich has it. Do you think Beast is an Avenger or an X-Man?
Ooh,
Sonny,
I was watching that video, and normally, I'm a huge X-Men fan, but then Uncle Gary was making some good points.
So, what's the verdict there, sir?
He's certainly
Sonny, let me tell you one thing before you answer. So far, no one has sided with Sal. So, if you want to be the outlier, go ahead.
There we go.
Okay,
Sonny the mic again.
Sonny has answered.
Sonny's, hey, so Sonny, you did watch the video. I thought it started off strong at number 10 with Jarvis.
I was just saying, yeah, like you said, say cleaning up the blue hair. Yeah, he's
cleaning up the blue hair.
Yeah.
But when you got to Patty, Melanie, Melissa, and Barb, I mean, that was it. When he had a 4-way for a 2-day binge, come on, he never got laid with the X-Men.
No.
So there you go.
He did have Carly. He did have Carly, the blind.
Oh my lord!
But I did see, you know what? Like you did say, Sal didn't have a shirt, but I do have a shirt with Sal. With
Sal on it. You have a shirt with Sal on it?
Yeah, I got a shirt with Sal and the X-Men.
Oh my god, Sal right there running with the slab. That's
I have a shirt. I have a shirt with Beast as an Avenger. So, and then Sonny, I don't know if you know this, but Jamie asked me to send him pictures, for the thumbnails of the Beast for as an Avenger and as an X-Man. So I picked the 3 happiest Avengers pictures of Beast as an Avenger I could find, and I picked the 3 saddest X-Men pictures of the Beast, and so that went on there. And Sal sees it, calls up Jamie, like, "What the hell, man?"
When I first saw the video, I did think when I first saw the thumbnail, like I said, great Avengers picture. And I was like, why was that X-Men picture? It's a horrible picture of Beast.
Now you know.
And then I saw that you said that. I'm like, oh. Yeah, so you definitely made a point.
God.
It definitely worked.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with rigging the playing field.
Nope.
You do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta fight dirty.
And listen, and like I told Sal, he had all the logical points 100%, but mine were so much more fun. So there you go. Stack the deck. You goddamn right I stacked the deck, baby.
Well, Sonny, if you're ready for this show to get on the road, I am.
All right.
Sonny, it's downhill from here,
ready.
baby.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Well,
let's do it.
Well, we're ready to go downhill.
That's right. We're sledding downhill, baby.
We had a good high part. Now it's time to go downhill.
Yeah, there we
All
go.
right.
This thing.
Hands in the air. Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for 45 seconds. We will be right back.
Whether you like it or not.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. I'm joined by my usual co-hosts, Tim Morse and Uncle Gary, the curator of comic books. There you go.
Right here, baby.
As we had quite a fun pre-show today. I went to review Marvel 1985, but something happened, and with the camera or with the mic, and I don't think I'm ever going to talk about giving it a rating again.
It was so epic. Silence.
It was eloquent. It was eloquent. I don't know that Sonny has ever said anything more powerfully or poignant. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully today I do at least an okay job when we review Cage, the Evil and the Cure, which that will be the story we're reviewing at the end of the show. We got quite a bit of comic book news about comics, video games. Like I said in the pre-show, Tim's heart is about to get broken.
No, it's not.
Dan's heart.
Oh, I think Tim. We
may. Oh, you think Tim's heart's about to be broken?
We're gonna have to say.
I think Tim's got something to be very excited about. Somebody just hit the ejection seat in the Batmobile or in the Spider-Mobile.
We'll be talking about this.
Oh, yeah, soon. But then we have, for the second time, we'll be having a Variant Insanity that started last week on the Codex Podcast. And since Sal is not here, he gave me the info so I can have you guys guess, you and the audience guess.
He even gave us a little intro video for it too.
Yeah, so he did say make sure to play it, and we will make sure to play it.
Yep.
We have a random panel of the week where somebody, a certain long-haired blonde man, is going to do some butt pounding.
Oh, yeah, now it's the part.
we have the F list coming up, where BlackRock joins, and then, like I said, at the end we'll review Cage. But first, I always like to talk about when I miss. I absolutely hate to miss, and this is the first time in history the Codex podcast after 3 years. So June 9th was the 3-year anniversary of the Codex podcast, which is the Codex station. So I was very angry to have to miss, but sometimes things happen in life. Unfortunately, I had a lot of bad news with family, so I had to miss. Even when you guys reviewed Marvel 1985, right as I was writing notes for it, got a bad call with some bad news. I said, "Hey guys, I have a family emergency. I can't make it." So you guys did a great job. Sal did a great job. Thank you, Sal. He stepped in on super short notice to jump in.
Twice.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, Sal jumped in on short notice to help save the day. But I'm glad to be back. Glad that I got everything settled. And before, when I missed one episode, I did put in the chat. I said I absolutely hated it, and now I still hate it. I still hate to miss, but now I do feel more comfortable that if I miss the Codex podcast and the Codex station will be okay.
Yep.
I got a great team, and everyone will carry on and do a great job, and everyone has. So thank you guys. I'm glad.
Hey, we missed you and we got you back, brother.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I will always appreciate it.
It is our pleasure to steer the ship of the Codex podcast.
Right into the rocks.
That's right. And then I came back. I said, that's okay. Now I need to come back. Tim is dropping too many F-bombs, and Sal is not scolding him like I told him to. I said, Sal, you scold him if he does that.
Yep.
Well, guys,
I didn't drop any F-bombs today. Gary dropped the first one, and that was
that was in the pre-show.
So now we'll see what's going on this one. But this is my first time on this month, so it is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Today is Juneteenth.
Yep.
Happy Juneteenth. So yes, there's a huge things, but also there are some things in June that get a bit overlooked. And I wanted to mention is that June is also PTSD Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. So many people go through PTSD, especially those who are veterans. Like, for instance, my grandfather fought in the Vietnam War, and so did some of my uncles, and it does affect people in different ways. And then also people suffer from PTSD from other things as well, abuse, seeing trauma and tragedies in front of them. So this is also PTSD Awareness Month. And then one more thing is that June 29th is Scleroderma Awareness Day. Now, a lot of people don't know what it is. It is an autoimmune disease where it affects the blood flow in your body, and sometimes your skin may seem to get very hard, almost to seem like plastic-wise. And that is a disease that my mother has. And the actor, comedian Bob Saget was the most known person who spoke out about it and raised awareness when his sister, Gay Saget, passed away due to scleroderma. And with Bob Saget's passing, it's a huge name to not be bringing awareness to it anymore. So I did tell my mom, I said, Ma, I will mention it. I will be the person. I will do my best to spread some awareness. So I'm not that famous. I'm not that popular yet, but I still want to mention that scleroderma is, June 29th is Scleroderma Day. And one of the signs is if you get, my mom's first sign was that her fingers, when it got cold, not like negative 40-degree colds, like let's say 50 degrees, and her fingertips were starting to get like black and blue.
Oh, wow.
Of it. So I want to make sure to, anything like that, get checked out. It's better that especially with my mom, that it was caught early. So she's on medications and things like that. So everyone take care of yourselves. And like I said, I got to bring that up. Got to bring it up for my mom. I love my mom with all my heart. Those who know me, a lot of those know that I am a mama's boy. So I said, I'll have to bring it up for my mom. And now we can move on to some good news. I got to do a lot of talking about me, what's going on, about all these things going on in June. And then now I can do some more talking because there is quite a bit of news. We can go on to the rundown. Okay, I was able to drink water that fast. So now comic book news, some hot news. And first, that there is a new Plastic Man series, and that is called Plastic Man No More, and that will be by DC's Black Label. And they're saying that it is for mature audiences, age 17 and up, to check it out. It's a 4-issue miniseries. And
well, Plastic Man and Reed Richards can please women like no other heroes can.
Oh my God!
Just saying. So that should be a Black Label book.
Yeah, the two
Why do you think
big
Namor
guys.
can't get? Why can't Namor get sued? Because Namor can't do what Reed can do.
Sure can't.
He's not that fantastic.
No.
Right.
But also, we got some video game news, and that is that Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is
Mhm.
set to come out, and it's going to come out to Nintendo Switch, also PS4, and they will feature 7 video games. Those games will be X-Men: Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, and one that has me really excited is the Punisher arcade game, the old classic one where you could be the Punisher and Nick Fury. So I think I'm going to have to get that bad boy when it comes out later this year. Also, we got some sad news. Marvel is canceling Sensation She-Hulk after issue number 10. So that series will wrap up within the next couple of months.
I'm honestly disappointed about that.
A lot of people were liking it. I didn't check it out, so not too sure. I'm not like really happy or sad, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to it and be like, why did it have to end after 10? But speaking of 10, it has been said that now Marvel is approving 10 issue series at a time. So instead of like lately, it's been a lot of okay, if a series gets picked up, it's 4 or 5 issues. Now they're going to at least be 10. And Dan Buckley has said that right now, that they've gotten it to be 10, and in the future, he's looking for it to be like 15 to 20 issues. And he even said that he's like, I don't think we're going to reach the days of 500 issues, but hey, if we can get 10 and then move to 15 to 20, good sign. And speaking of things that, getting a lot of issues, and speaking of cancellations, Tim, are you ready for me to break your heart?
You can try, but this excitement that I have welling inside is
I saw what you did there.
pretty big.
The end of the Zeb Wells Spidey era is among us.
About fucking time.
Whoa, there's the
I got my belt ready for you. I knew Tim was going to misbehave. I knew he was going to. There we go.
Sonny, he was counting on that.
So Thor's not the only one ready to do some butt pounding. I've got the belt ready. The belt is ready for you, Tim.
You're unlocking childhood trauma that I've turned into sexual desire, Sonny.
Wow, there you go. Wow.
So should you thank me for that or be angry at me? But Tim,
what's the old joke? The masochist said, "Hurt me," and the sadist said, "No."
You're right, exactly.
That's a new one. I'll have to remember that one. And we got to look at that. We got a comment. We're getting people aroused in the comments.
Aroused? Wow. Wow, we like that.
Let's take a look and see who that is.
Is there a queue forming up to spank Tim?
Richard says hashtag no more maps.
No more maps.
I agree. Let's see here. Snoop, however, says I am oddly aroused. Fancy that, Snoop. Me too. And we have the eyes in the sky here with us too.
Oh, there we go. All right, 5-0.
Jamie, how dare you not call me on Monday? I was ready to talk to you. I was ready to ignore your call, and then you didn't even call me. So I didn't even get to ignore you, Jamie. I was very upset.
He beat that's
terrible.
He ignored me before I got to ignore him. Pretty rude of him.
That was very rude. What was he thinking?
Tim, that's one. Oh, buddy, there's going to be more when we talk about Zeb Wells, let me tell you. Well, get the square jar up front, so.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man, the final showdown with Tombstone begins. Kind of an odd villain to be the final one, but.
Well, here, I've got this article that is on, what is it, Games Radar? Yeah, so
Jamie says in the comment that he called me from out the window and I never answered.
Oh, there you go.
And for that, I'm sorry.
All right, so
no excuses. I'm sorry that I did not hear you, Jamie.
You didn't hear that yodel from Wisconsin?
I did not.
We'll go ahead and talk about this now, get it out of the way. Everybody's ready for the epic rant. So Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. will end their Amazing Spider-Man run this fall with Spidey's most brutal battle, and this is written by George Marston on Games Radar, and you can find it on there as well. It says Zeb Wells and regular series artist John Romita Jr. will be exiting Amazing Spider-Man after one final arc. The article goes on to say writer Zeb Wells and artist John Romita Jr. will be concluding their run on Amazing Spider-Man with one final arc in which Peter Parker will take on Tombstone in a brawl to win it all, which Marvel is billing as Spidey's most brutal battle. Already, that's a lie. Marvel's announcement doesn't specify how long the final arc will last, we do know that it'll follow up on Spider-Man and Tombstone's upcoming battle in Amazing Spider-Man number 56, Legacy number 850, and that Amazing Spider-Man number 58 is being billed as the true kickoff of Wells and Romita's final arc.
I like what Dan said in the comments.
Wait a minute. So is issue 58 the beginning of their final arc?
Yes.
Or is that their final issue?
It's the beginning of the final arc.
So it's going beyond 58.
Yeah, on 58, it says the final showdown with Tombstone begins September 2024.
Yeah. Dan says unless Tombstone is powered up by the entire Infinity Gauntlet, there's no way it should take Spidey more than 3 panels to beat his ass. That is absolutely true. So I'll let you guys get your opinions out of the way before I tell you guys the truth. So go ahead.
That's the end of the Zeb Wells Spidey era.
Well,
I'm going to say what you guys want to say.
I'm just hoping that we finally find out what the hell it was that Peter did. I've been waiting 50 plus issues for this. Now, as a caveat, I did admit something very shameful to Tim yesterday, that I kind of enjoyed issue 50. There was a classic Spidey Green Goblin fight with Norman that I liked. I did like it quite a bit. And so...
And I told you I'd read it. To check it out.
So I will admit that I liked it, but I think the reason I liked it was because all this other nonsense they've woven into the backstory with Mary Jane and her friend Paul, that's her husband or whatever the hell he is, and their disappearing children and the jackpot crap and all this other stuff that is such garbage. Yes, there you go on that one. How Spidey kicks that. One reason why the maps were so good is because that took away a whole story page that you didn't have to read from Zeb Wells. So there you go. But on that Spidey Goblin issue, I did like that. So that would have been a wonderful place to say goodbye. But
and that's fair, right? Because like my hatred for the entire Zeb Wells run is just me. I know there are other people that are more vocal than I am about it. But here on the Codex podcast, I think I'm the outlier because you and Sal really enjoy it.
Well, no. That's not true. I don't really enjoy it. I enjoyed the gang war storyline for the most part because, yes, it had maps, but because it was focusing on a big epic fight, and it wasn't focusing so much on the stupid Mary Jane stuff and the periphery stuff in his supporting cast, which is what's so horrible. I'm still really pissed off that I don't understand what the hell it was that Peter did. I think the whole thing with Mary Jane and Paul is as stupid as can be. I think they sold us a false bill of goods when they, the whole series was based on what did Peter do, right? That was the whole tagline when they first started this series, and they haven't answered anything. I don't see anything that he did wrong. So what the hell was the big story there? So I feel like I was
say it.
Yeah, I feel like they deceived me from the beginning with this with a fake storyline. And like I said, the stuff has been just mediocre and okay. And the whole garbage with the Miss Marvel thing was just you knew it was ridiculous, and it was just an attention grabber that they were going to do. And what, a month later she's back. So that was
as a mutant in the X-Men books.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Kind of trying to build up, trying to hype themselves, blow their own horn, and make sense. So nothing's sticking there. So
here's what Peter did. Richard knows.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's the toilet seat up.
Yeah, it must have been something that egregious for him for it to be such a big deal. But the gang war I liked because of all the clashes, and the Spidey Norman fight I liked because it brought back a sinister Norman, and it brought back some great. It reminded me of great Spidey Goblin things of the past. But that's really pretty much it for the enjoyment level in this series. So I did not enjoy this series, but it's true to say I did not hate it to the depths that you did. But I felt deceived.
So
my favorite thing was Tim's reviews on it.
So here's my opinion. I think that whoever they get to do writing and artwork has got a lot of work to do with this whole mess of a run. The only reason that it's like whoever really enjoys this run, I think, is in a smaller minority than those that hate it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Nearly everybody I've spoken to, in one way or another, really dislikes everything that Zeb Wells and the editorial staff for Spider-Man has done to this character. We've talked about character assassination. We've talked about destroying history and so much more. And the big thing is, what did Peter do that Zeb Wells was pushing? He
Yep.
did jack and shit. Um,
Yep.
Zeb
You'll find out
Wells,
in the final issue.
exactly. Zeb Wells, I think, has been the worst writer I have ever seen on Spider-Man, and I cannot wait for him to write his last word and punctuate his last sentence so that way he can put that fucking pen down and get away from this book so that way the rebuilding process can begin and people can start to come back to their favorite character in the 616 universe. Spider-Man, Gary, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is Marvel's flagship character.
Without a doubt.
And even Lithograph, when he was on, when we were doing the Spider-Man revisit on Comic Character of the Week, he talked about character assassination, and then there is character destruction. All the characters have to have a rebuilding process, and they are not given this to Spider-Man at all. Zeb Wells' writing is atrocious. It is horrid. It is disgusting. It is vandalizing. And it is an abomination of everything that I think Spider-Man should be. Have there been other bad writers on Spider-Man? Yes. Have there been other bad stories on Spider-Man? Yes. But what, in my personal opinion, and anybody can disagree with me, that's fine. In my personal opinion, I think that everything he's done, they have given him the keys to the castle, and he has run around and had a frat party for going on over 50 issues now, right? And he is just destroying everything. And the fact that editorial allows him to do this and encourages it, they are just as much to blame as he is. John Romita Jr., I don't put much blame on. The only blame I put on him is the lack of getting back to what he used to do when he was doing artwork. I think his artwork through Amazing Spider-Man has been subpar at best. When Ed McGuinness came in, that was a breath of fresh air visually, not as far as the story goes.
Did
but
you feel like
visually.
Richard in the comments after reading some of Zeb Wells?
I feel like I have to shower after reading Zeb Wells, as those stories make me feel dirty. This is exactly what I said about this, Richard. It felt like I was in an abusive relationship reading Spider-Man. Every month that Spider-Man came out, or every 2 weeks, whatever it was, Spider-Man was on the bottom of my pile, and I dreaded getting to that book. And when I got
Better, Tim, you kept returning to buy more.
and when I got to that book, I hated reading every minute of it. My eyes never rolled so hard as when I was a kid and my parents were telling me things I didn't want to hear, right? I hated reading Spider-Man. Richard says JR is an accomplice to this crime. I'll agree with that, absolutely. But I don't think that he should share half of the blame. I think he should share a third, maybe a little less, but I think most of the blame really lies on editorial and Zeb Wells. And I am so glad that he is going to be off of this book. I will not read anything until, with the exception of issue 50, which I promised you I would read, Gary. But beyond that, I ain't reading shit until somebody new comes on this character and tries to fix what Zeb Wells has so haphazardly destroyed. I hope that anything I say about this gets to him in one way or another. And if you're watching this, Zeb Wells, fuck you. You
Wow.
have destroyed and ruined this character in more ways than you could gleefully hope for. And I hope that after all of this is done, Marvel never gives you another cent to write another book. I think you need to go to Image or Dark Horse or anything like that and create your own world and systematically destroy it from there. What you have done on Spider-Man is inexcusable and unforgivable, and I hope you rot in fucking hell when this is all said and done. That's all I got.
Tim, do you think if
Tim,
Zeb
don't
Wells,
hold back, man.
do you think
Stop
if he
holding back.
hears all this, he'll be able to decipher between all the flowery language how you really feel about it?
I think he'll be able to.
You think he'll be able to get the gist of it? Okay.
Richard,
right there
thank
with you.
you.
Tim, I was just reading right now. Zeb Wells set to be the new writer for Transformers.
Duh, I'll be done with that. Dan
No,
says
that's me joking.
Ramita's art is terrible. It looks like he's drawing it with feet that were drawn.
Well,
oh my God.
I will say this, JR, I think JR phoned it in on a lot of these issues.
I agree.
And then he would put out some really great covers to show you he's still capable of some stellar work, because some of the covers were really good, but it seems like the interiors, he's just phoning it in. He's just
But JR is a deadline meter, right? You can count on him to meet deadlines, and he can power through that shit and get it done and put it out regardless of what it looks like.
Yeah, guys. So that will come to an end soon, and then Tim, we'll get some more thoughts on the ending.
I can't
of
wait.
how it all ends.
Well, whoever takes over, it's a low bar. It's a low bar.
They've got a
put me in. My time to shine.
Sonny, and this is no slight against anything you've ever written, because the things you've written are good. Anything you put to paper compared to Zeb Wells will be Oscar worthy.
Wow.
Yeah, you've heard it from
anything. My son could write better than Zeb Wells ever could on Spider-Man.
I think Sonny's getting really excited about having a little gold naked man statue in his house now.
Do it.
Hey, I got those PDF trophies. The next thing is to get the naked gold guys.
That's right.
But I got a naked silver guy, Silver Surfer figure, which is not broken, by the way. But now I gotta get a gold trophy.
Let's move this conversation on to some other cancellations.
Yeah, let's talk about Plastic Man No More. That is set to be a 4-issue miniseries. It is, like I said, by DC Black Label. It is set to be written by Christopher Cantwell. The art will be by Alex Lins and Jacob Edgar. Colors by Marcelo Maiello. Letters by Becca Carey. And cover art is also by Alex Lins. And then there's variant cover art by Michael Elred, Chris Samney, and Tyler Boss. I agree, Snoopy.
I hope so. Pull the Dallas treatment.
Yeah, Spider-Man wakes up and those issues are all fake. Yeah. Plastic Man set to come out September 4th.
I'll check that out. I'm excited about that.
I think it'll be good. Yeah, quick. I think they're like 32 pages per issue. So good, quick story.
I think it'll be great. I know, a few years ago, Gail Simone did a Plastic Man series, and one of my favorite one-liners in that, he was as Eel O'Brien, he was getting beat up by his former gang, and they were kicking the hell out of him. And as the former gang boss, they're getting ready to finish him off, and he says, "Hey, boss, before you do that, can you do me a solid?" And he goes, "What is it?" He goes, "Well, I hear your sister's coming in town, and can you go to my house? I left a pack of rubbers on the nightstand. Your mom was over last night."
Nice.
And the dude said, "Oh, funny guy, huh?" And then he got his ass kicked some more.
Plastic Man does not get enough love on the paper, and I'm glad he's getting a Black Label series. I think that fit perfect for him.
Well, they used
to want to check it out. And the episode you guys did, a comic character of the week.
Yeah,
because I was really excited when you guys did that, because I'm like, it's a cool character, but you don't hear much. He doesn't get much of a spotlight. So now maybe his time to shine.
What were you going to say, Gary?
That I guess it was the DC Dead Earth series, where they at one point, there was a moat as the heroes are going into the I guess zombified hero's character stronghold to attack them.
Mm.
The moat is red and it's moving, and the whole moat is plastic, man.
Oh man!
And it was horrific. I mean, it was like, oh my god, that's just really a really wild, trippy, and frightening sequence.
Wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But with Plastic Man, like I said, there was going to be some variants, and now I think that helps us move on to that new segment that started last week of Variance Insanity.
Yeah.
Now, I got the info from Sal. So, do any of you want to take a guess which comic book is the one that has the most variants this week?
I think that it's gonna be. Let's go ahead and go with. Well, it was Thundercats last week, so I'm gonna call X-Men. Yeah,
Gary, or anybody in the audience.
Well, I'm going to say this isn't going to be the right answer, but I'm going to tell you the one that I bought 5 freaking variants of today. That would be Gun Honey.
Oh,
Gun Honey.
You want me to run this intro, Sal did?
Yes. Oh, you're right. Yes.
All right. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome. Insanity.
Way to go, Sal.
Oh man, that's great.
So for Variant Insanity, Snoopy, Richard says USM. Snoopy, you are wrong with XXX Men. The answer is the comic with the most variants this week is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution number 2. And do you want to take a guess how many variants it has?
I'm going to go with 15.
I'm going to go. Is it a number 1, that book that came out today?
Is it number 2?
It's number 2. I'm going to say 18.
Anybody? Uncle Gary is closer, but not correct.
We go way off, Gary.
Nope, Uncle Gary not too way off. But for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution number 2 has 26 variants.
Oh, listen, I almost
Dan guessed 23, but yeah, 26. That number again.
I was almost going to say the alphabet. Let's go with 26 because that's the alphabet. And I thought when you said it was a second issue, I said, well, that's too much. Yeah. So I should have gone with the first 20.
Wow. It is 26 listed from 2A to 2AB.
Oh, wow.
Well, last week was 26. This week was 26.
Okay.
26 variant covers.
So both are IDW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thundercats is IDW, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's some clowns out there that have all 26.
Sure do. God almighty. That's why it's Variant Insanity, ladies and gentlemen.
Same, yep.
God.
Good catch, Tim, on remembering to do the intro. Yeah. Got your intro in, Sal, and we'll make sure to do it every week from now on.
They're going to milk that last Ronin idea until it's shriveled up and dry. Yep. Just like a turtle out of water.
Hey, Zeb Wells is going to jump on that. Put it in the ground.
Richard, I agree with you. It's killing the industry. There are so many variants out there right now that if you are a variant hunter, it is impossible almost to get them all. I think that needs to be cut down like to 10 max because you can do a lot of good stuff with that.
It truly is insanity. And it truly is killing the pockets, killing the wallets of people.
I don't want
20. There you go. There you go. IDW. I don't want 23.
Wow.
You don't want 23, but you got 26.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you don't want 20, you have 26.
Well, listen, I'm a sucker because, like I said, I bought 5 Gun Honey covers.
But I bet those were awesome covers, though.
25 more to, or 21 more to go.
2 of them are naked.
See, no problem. Nobody can blame you for that. Then
Dan's got a good point. It's spending a lot of money on books that will hold no value going forward.
Well, what I equivocate a lot of the variant covers and how much they go up and this and that. I think it's the comic book equivalent of day trading.
Mm-hmm.
Because day trading is very volatile on the stock market. These things are very volatile. One day they're up, one day they're down. So it's really it's quite a
if
it's
you
quite a
wait
gamble.
long enough, they become penny stocks.
There you go. Exactly. So
Yeah.
they can't come down. Now, there are certain artists that they'll always retain the value. Now, that's where you have to invest
Art
in.
Germ, J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee.
Yep, absolutely. Certain ones there, but it's still like day trading, man.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
Snoopy says that this is what killed the industry in the 90s.
That's exactly true. Yeah.
Overproduction. Chris, you're 100% right, brother. We lived it, man. You're
what is it?
Right.
What is it? All of these variants printed out. It's almost like padding the numbers too.
Yes.
Yeah. Look how well this sold. Yeah, because it has like 50 variant covers. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're exactly right, Dan. In 5 to 10 years, no one will give a shit about these ratio variants because the ratio variants don't hold their value from the time they hit the shelves. Because when you catch them on eBay, day of release, they're discounted.
Yep.
Someone needs to get their butt pounded for doing all those variant covers.
Oh, there we go.
I wonder who has the power to do that.
Yeah. Which brings us to a random panel of the week.
Oh, bear with me 1 second. I am
Tim's really asking for that Tim's really asking for that butt pounding today.
I am.
Tim got excited.
Oh my God. Lead us up to it, Sonny. Lead us up to it.
So, in a world where many people need to have their butt pounded, and sometimes there's evil, and sometimes they come from hell, and you need a god of thunder to pound their butt.
Who could that be?
Week.
So when after a lot of butt pounding, does that get to be a Thor subject?
Oh my God.
It's a bit of a Thor subject for some.
Oh my God. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the delay.
There it is. It is Thor. It's time for some serious butt pounding. Game's up, Mephisto.
I bet he's excited.
Oh, I think so too. Look at that. The way he's holding that, the way he's gripping that hammer.
He's celebrating Pride Month, boys.
There he is. And with a lot of butt pounding, you get butt pudding. So there you go.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
Oh, is he saying surfs up, Mephisto? And look, it's Mephisto. He put the fist in Mephisto. There you go.
Oh my Lord. Dan says Tim's distracted because he's posting on the Zeb Wells fan page. He runs about how sad he is he's leaving the book. That is exactly correct.
Oh,
what a great panel for today. Jeez.
Yeah. But like I said, it's June. It's Pride Month. Let Thor celebrate and be happy. Or angry. Maybe he's just rough. Let him be his rough self.
He's Asgardian. And he's probably got a little Greek heritage there.
My tuck is the Thor.
I took it to Thor. There you go. There you go, Chris.
Wow. Are you ready for the F list, Sonny?
Yeah, this is somebody else who could use some butt pounding.
Oh my God. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The F list.
F list.
And this week, the character who joins the F list is BlackRock.
Let me find a good one to start us off with. This one.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
There he is. BlackRock. He's from Youngblood. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have told you that, but there we go. And there he is. Yeah. Of course, all the schooling in the world won't change the fact you're just a sham. Your pappy must be so disappointed. Yeah. Your pappy must be one disappointed to have a loser like you for a son.
Oh, and then there's that.
Look at him there. His head is off, being caught. There's his head off. Nice kiddo. Yeah, they cut your head off.
Oh my Lord.
And there he is, bigger. But if you notice, this is all on the same issue. His color has completely changed there.
What is this?
It's Brown Rock. He's Brown Rock there.
My God.
There he is. Yeah.
Somebody's
head. You're in my way, toots. Yeah, he's like, you're in my way, toots.
My God. Okay.
And that's him also at the bottom falling down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for such a big guy, he's not too tough. But I won't give much more away because I'll let one of you guys, or both of you guys, want to guess the history of BlackRock.
Gary, do you want to take this one, or?
Well, if you have a set origin, you go for it. I mean, I'll just wing it if you don't.
Okay. All right. I'll take this. Okay. You come up with the name, though, because you've been hitting them out of the park with each name that you've come up with.
Okay.
All right. So give me a name, and then I'll go from there.
Oh, let's see. Getting around. I'm gonna say. Oh,
Before you get that, there's a good comment by
okay.
Snoop.
Let's take a look here.
It's not about Black Rock, but it's about Brown Rock.
Oh, there you go.
I prefer the DC Black Rock. Brown Rock is the number 2 image hero. Wow.
Wow. There you go. Well, his name is Slate Brown.
Slate Brown.
Slate Brown and his father, what you don't know is his father and his mother. His father was a famous singer who happened to be a Rolling Stone. Papa was a Rolling Stone. James Brown was his father.
Oh.
So Slate Brown, James Brown got together with a groupie, and that's and she because Papa was Rolling Stone, she thought Slate would be a good name for him. So Slate Brown.
So I feel good. Right?
Slate Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Dad was James Brown. His mom was Pebbles.
Stone.
Pebbles Brownstone.
Oh,
and they made Slate Brown, and he grew up in a well-to-do life. Ricky Bobby was his idol, but he eventually, as he grew up, he was picked on as a kid, not for the color of his skin, but for his inability to sing like his dad. Where James Brown had a voice of gold, Slate Brown had a voice of rock, black rock. And eventually he ended up forming the paramilitary group Black Rock, and also became the CEO of the evil company Blackstone. Well, Blackstone took their CEO and decided to make him even more rich by injecting the JB Pebbles virus into him, named after his mom and dad.
Wow.
And it was in hopes of making him a big pop music star. Well, it in turn did this to him. And he got mad and he got upset. And that is when he went on a life of crime. He discovered that there was a hero named Bedrock or Bad Rock, and he didn't like that too much. So that's when he went. He ate a lot of food, gained a lot of weight, let his whole body go because he figured if his voice is gone, might as well let the rest of him go too. And that is where this happens. And Bad Rock is like, I'm tired of not being able to hear that angelic voice that came out of your dad, so I'm going to have to remove the vocal pipes. And so he did.
Wow.
Nice trick, kiddo.
Nice trick, kiddo.
Yeah. And that's Blackstone, Black Rock, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that is Black Rock. All right, well, there you go. Slate Brown might actually be his name. There isn't
We don't know.
history to this young blood villain. So, as I mentioned, he's a young blood villain. So, you'll be able to know that his creator is Rob Liefeld.
Of course it is.
And his first appearance was in Team Youngblood, issue number 10.
There you go.
His name is unknown. So that's how people just know him as Black Rock. He works for Maddox, who is a young blood villain.
Yes, that's close.
He is a male. Yes, he has no hair, as people could see. Somehow this character is not dead yet, but he's got a few powers. Like I said, he works for Maddox, so he's fought young blood a bit, and for being a guy who has quite a bit of his powers are pretty impressive, but he doesn't know how to use them because he has superhuman durability. Black Rock is nigh invulnerable, and in case of injury, can heal at an accelerated rate. Also, one of the pictures, you can see his head is cut off, and he's still talking trash. There he is. Yes, he says, "Nice trick, kiddo," as his head's cut off, and he later on reattaches his head. So there
but it's been done before.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So he grabs his head, he puts it back on, but then he still gets defeated. And those are all from the same issue. Those are all from the Team Youngblood 10. Look how much he changed his colors within like 3 or 4 pages. And there he was at the bottom getting defeated.
Right here?
Yep, at the bottom of the image.
Wow.
The young lady, I'm not too sure if that was Riptide, but one of the Youngblood women defeated him. She used telepathic abilities, messed with his mind, he dropped, and that was it. And also it says his superhuman strength rivals Bad Rock's. So that is the character. He's been in a few issues. like I said, he hasn't done much for a guy with some okay powers. He stinks as a villain. Was like I said, only worked for Matic. Fights in a few pages, gets defeated. Literally, he's around like 4 or 5 pages before he gets trashed because he is a trashy character, and there's no
So,
more really to him.
songs like a fat, shitty version of the Black Knight from Holy Grail. Oh my god.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna guess you guys are probably gonna agree with me. Can he get out of the F list? I say no. He stays there. There's nothing really more to this character. He's kind of just
Un-
brought in another one of the million young blood characters, part of the story, and just was defeated quickly.
Unless he can learn how to sing like his dad, he's not getting out of the F list at all.
Um,
Staying there.
considering who created him, he has no chance. Just saying.
Yeah. I was like, we haven't done something with young blood in a while. Let me find and quickly, very quickly, I was able to find this character, and then like, man, there's so many. But I'm like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We'll do this character for now.
Sonny,
he is tarred with the stigma of being created by Liefeld.
Sonny, I
No
can't
chance.
wait. I can't wait to review more Young Blood with you, Gary. I hope you're on that episode. If you're not, Sal or Dan, I know you guys will love it as much as we do.
This has got to be that would be one of the lowest rated. I felt bad a few weeks ago for killing something, but oh my god, I might be in negative numbers with this.
God, Sonny,
It's gonna be fun.
When we did Young Blood, what was the rating you gave that? I think it was like a 5 or a 4.
I think it was like 4.
That was incredibly generous.
That was the lowest
generous.
rating he had ever given anything up to that point.
That is generous, my friend.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Yeah, so it did not rank high at all.
No, Jamie fucking hated it.
Nobody. That was the lowest rate. The lowest rated comic.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable that we could rate a creator who's better than any other creator at that
right.
level.
Exactly.
I know, doesn't that blow your mind?
How dare we?
And those beautiful feet.
And those the whole
50 new characters every issue,
all at once.
Yeah, no copying of other characters either,
at all.
That's why it is so brilliant in that Wolverine and Deadpool trailer to have Rob Liefeld's feet store or whatever that
right. Oh my god.
But next week we will have more F-listers, and every week more F-listers, more random panels.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've reached the event of the evening.
Oh, there we go. That was a drum roll. That was like a drum roll.
And today we will be reviewing Cage, the Evil, and the Cure.
Yeah, 4-issue series.
A 4-issue series from the 92 Cage series. And we'll read the comment.
Imagine Liefeld drawing for a Zeb Wells story. I can't.
Oh, no. Wow. There you go. Whole new level of bad.
We need that.
Oh my god.
All right. But we'll focus on to Cage, the Evil, and the Cure. And as usual, Tim will start us off with the credits.
Yeah, so Cage, the Evil and the Cure. This is from Cage Volume 1, the 20-issue series in the 90s that came out. This is issues 5 through 8. And it was written by Marcus McLaren with artwork by Dwayne Turner, inks by Christopher Ivey, colors by Michael Thomas, and letters by Christopher Elopoulos.
Okay, I'll get us started off with the story, and we start off with some trash. And that is because Cage fights a gang that is literally called Trash. When there is a Thor wannabe there with a little sledgehammer. Oh no, not even a sledgehammer. A little hammer.
Claw hammer.
A little nail hammer. Yeah, a little claw hammer.
I love the guy that looked like Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, there was a guy that looked like Jimmy Snuka. There was a guy literally named Legs.
Yeah.
Even if you look him up, his name is literally Legs.
Yeah.
So Cage is fighting them, and then it gets on to that that doesn't really have much to do with the story. He fights them, he beats Trash because they're trash. They're basically a gang of F-listers. Then he talks to Troop, and Troop hires Cage, and he says, I need to find my guardian, Anders, and so he hires Luke Cage, and then Cage is going there. But this issue, well, it's actually issue 5, but this is part 1, and in part 1, it's also going back and forth where Cage is fighting a man named Steel, who sometimes calls himself Power Man, but Steele's his name, and he's just he looks like he's a cop, but he's huge and muscular. He
Mhm.
almost looks like Cage, and the two are fighting. And Cage is very surprised by how tough this guy is, and eventually Cage is captured, and then he is put into the black hole. But who does he find there? He finds Richie Anders, who he was set to find. But Cage he's trying to fight his way out. He's getting zapped, and there's all these big muscle men. And what we find out is that all these guys are so big and they're strong. It's because they're being experimented on. Is that they're trying to make them into the next, Luke Cage, the next Power Man. But the thing is that none of their bodies can handle it, and they eventually disintegrate and die after a little bit of time. And Luke Cage is the only one who survived it, so that's why he's brought back in. And then while in jail, Anders thinks, oh, this guy, because Cage saw him and kind of went at him, Anders thought, oh, this guy's sent to kill me. So at one part, he puts a chain around Cage and tries to, because the cage is, has electricity to it, tries to electrocute Cage through it. Obviously, it doesn't work. But then the two start to talk and kind of get to know each other. And Cage is even telling him, one thing I liked is that throughout the story, they talk a lot about like having power and not letting it get the better of you and choosing like to be
Mhm.
more peaceful, because Cage, he has served time in prison. He wants to be peaceful, although he does, work for hire. He generally has a rule of like not wanting to kill people. One thing I liked was when he said to Anders, he said, "You're the only one who can change your world, man." And there was a lot of things like that, talking about, you can change yourself. You have to want to change your life. And that was something I did like. And then we do see Dr. Noah Bernstein. He is the one who uh, created the experiment that turned Luke Cage into Power Man. So he's the one experimenting on them. And then him and Cage do talk. And Bernstein tells that, hey, I'm doing this. They have my wife. They're threatening my wife. And he even goes to shoot Cage.
Never late, bougie, always on time.
You're always
Okay.
glad you could join the party, my friend.
Yeah, and you could always rewind and check out the rest of the episode before we got to this point. And yeah, we're going over Cage, the Evil and the Cure. So back to the story that Dr. Noah Bernstein tries to shoot Cage. Cage stops him. Obviously, we knew the Cage wasn't going to die
Mhm.
there. But then Cage is brought back, and then he is fighting to get loose. And he does break loose, and he's even telling the cops, the security around, like, break free, go ahead. And two of them say, okay, you know what? We don't have much time left to live. Let's just go out and live our lives with what little time we have left.
Yeah.
And then we get quite a few interesting special guest appearances, and that is the West Coast Avengers. That's when we
Mhm.
see Wonder Man, we see US Agent, and then we see Hawkeye say, hey, we got this message. There's a lot of stuff going down by the black hole, but Wonder Man says, hey, I remember that was the Vault. So they go off to help out with the West Coast Avengers. And then we also go back to Cage, who is free, but he can escape. But he said, hey, I got to save my friends. Mickey, who was one of his friends,
Yeah, he
who
was a
followed him.
reporter for the Spectator.
Yep, the Chicago
Chicago-based.
Spectator.
Yep.
So the two, yeah, and in issues previous, they had, even though they worked together, they had kind of gotten close. So even though they worked together, he kind of is a friend to Cage. So he was following. He was also trapped. And then Anders, the guy who Cage was looking for, was trapped. So as Cage goes to set them free, that's when he sees who is behind this, and that is his enemy, who has been the villain in the Cage series, and that is Hardcore, who is also working for someone mysterious. And that's the halfway point of the story, and I'll stop going through a run through right there. But with this story, I picked it because I have been reading the Cage series, but I thought, it'd be interesting because this is the next story I'm on. I'm going through the whole thing, and I'm guessing you guys aren't going through the whole Cage series. So I'm like, it'd be good to get different opinions on it, because there are parts throughout it that they'll have other characters like Dakota North and Anna Medina. So there are parts that go with the other parts.
Yeah,
that
I noticed that there
earlier.
was like a subplot going on that had taken place in the 4 issues prior.
Yeah, so, and one of the reasons that I picked the story is because issue 4 is one of my Genesis books, but deals with the Punisher and Nitro and all that. So it was an issue that I loved, and I was okay. Now I'm onto this. Let me pick this one, and then, so like I said, so there's the little subplots, and the big thing is the evil and the cure, finding a cure of the Power Man. I guess I would say serum, and I did like the guest appearances of the West Coast Avengers. But for me, this story there was highs and lows. When I started, I thought I was expecting it to be a little bit more, maybe because I really liked 4, and then 2 was one of my favorite issues of it, and then there were certain parts where I feel they would let the ball down a little bit. For instance, cover of issue 7, you see the Scarlet Witch there, but she does not appear in there.
At all.
They should have just put U.S. Agent, who was there instead. And then also, one thing with the West Coast Avengers is that there is a big, wonderful battle between Luke Cage and Wonder Man, which is, I think, one of the highlights of the story. And I think in the last issue, they really could have used that as a cover. I mean, I think showing Luke Cage squaring off with Wonder Man would be
that went over 2 issues, them kicking the snot out of each other.
Yeah, so that was a big thing, and I think it would grab a lot more people's attention. And like I said, it wasn't just a couple panels. They gave each other a couple punches. It was a true fight between the two great characters. But yeah, there were points I felt that would come up, then points I feel a little left down. Even one thing at the ending where a character dies, and I thought they really dropped the ball. They could have made it emotional. They could have done something really big with it, and it kind of happens in the background. So it was like a bit of, so for me, ups, downs. There were points where I like the artwork. Sometimes I'll really find myself liking it, and sometimes I'll find characters almost looking a lot alike. Like, wait a minute, was that Anders or was that Mickey? But then, so that's for me, pretty good, but points not so much. And then, like I said, but the writing, story-wise, I felt there were parts that could have been done a lot better. But I'm like, okay, kind of dropped the ball. But overall, me, as someone who's going through the whole series, I thought this is a good story arc. Like I said, I like the big appearances, like I said, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Wonder Man. I think it's good. I don't think it's a must read, but I would still say check it out. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think some people will enjoy it as well, but I don't think it's a must read. I think it's a good story. I give Cage, The Evil and the Cure 7.7 out of 10.
All right.
Well, whichever of you two gentlemen would like to go first.
Gary, you want to go ahead?
Sure.
Take a stab at the story with the guy with the hard skin.
So I originally bought issues 6, 7, and 8 of this because of the West Coast Avengers appeared in it. So I didn't buy 5. So I had never read 5. So I read 5, and then I refreshed myself on 6, 7, 8. So I remember at the time that being a little underwhelmed when I read it at the time. So when I reread it this time, that feeling still held true to me. What I thought, it was an interesting concept for a story, but I thought the writing was just all over the place. I thought, I know nowadays we don't have a whole lot of word balloons and stuff in comics and things like that, where people are used to not reading any. But this, even for its era, this was heavy with word balloons.
A lot.
I thought too much. I thought it was just way too much, and it took away from the art and the panels and things like that. And it just, I just thought it was way too much, way too heavy, way too convoluted. I thought the initial concept was pretty good. It did perk up for me a lot when the West Coast Avengers get in there. Now, granted, I'm a Wonder Man guy, so I really did like the fight between Cage and Wonder Man, and it was a Donnybrook. It was really good, and they were used, the same principles that powered Wonder Man were kind of behind what powered, what Cage became Power Man, and before that, there was a Power Man who became Atlas and the Thunderbolts. So this is kind of going on the same creative process to create these superpowered heroes. But at the end, where Wonder Man did have Cage up in the air holding them by one hand, was a pretty awesome Simon picture. But they did pound the hell out of each other. But it's one of those things. It was a great fight, but it's kind of ridiculous where they really needed to catch the guy that was trying to poison and release this virus, creating these metahumans on the world. And they're too busy slugging it out. So it went on. It was a great epic fight, but it was kind of went on too long there. But I just think the story was all over the place. Like Sonny said, they could have had some emotional, heft to the death of that character, but they really did it. It was in the side. It was just like a side view. And Iron Man was in it. U.S. Agent was in it. But really, except for Wonder Man, you didn't get it much West Coast Avenger action out of it. So it just seemed like the story was just all over the place for me. Now, I do understand that there were elements in there with Dakota North and with talking about Cage's father who
Mm-hmm.
was maybe deceased and his brother and things like that. There's subplots going on. So I don't count that against it because they're weaving subplots for future issues.
Yep.
But the main storyline about these, they're experimenting on inmates and people they pick up with no family or anything, and they're charging them with these superpowers, and then they end up disintegrating and all that. I thought it was a neat concept. Of course, it's been done before, but I still thought it was a good concept. But the fact that it was just all over the place, so I didn't care for it. I just thought the story could have been so much more tighter and could have been so much less wordy with all the, I thought, needless exposition by a lot of the characters. And then the art. I'm not a big fan of the art. The art was okay. It's okay. Certainly better than, some of the scribbles that they have in comic books nowadays. So I'd say definitely better than a lot of what you get today, but it still wasn't in their favor. So for me, I think I'm going to say the art for me was maybe a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm going to say the story for me was maybe a 5.5 out of 10.
Ooh, wow.
So I'm going to say all in all. Sonny said, "Would you say 7.7?"
Yeah.
I'm going to say 5.8. I'm going to say a 5.8 out of 10 for me. So I didn't love it. It was okay. I appreciate it. I just it didn't grab me, and it kind of reinforced how I felt when I was originally buying it.
So you weren't a fan of the trash in the story.
Well, no, the trash was kind of stupid, but you have to have throwaway villains in there. For me, the high point was the Wonder Man cage fight.
Marvel was really good about those throwaway beat 'em up guys too. You're gonna give us your money right now, or we're gonna cut you. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Tim, how about you?
Okay, so I enjoyed it. Now I remember, Gary, like you, when this book hit shelves, and I remember picking up the first issue.
I have those too. Yeah, I did get the first several. Yeah.
Yep. But like after the first issue, I didn't read anymore, and I have not come back to this title until today when I read up to be prepared for the show. So first off, let's go with the writing. So I agree with both of you 100% that the writing, there was too much stuff going on. The subplot was kind of cool. It was slowed down more so than the main story. The flashback scenes didn't bother me through the main story as it was progressing, and I thought that the fleshing out of Luke Cage as a character was done really well. However, toward the end, like when Hardcore showed up, things started to break down. And I think that if they maybe stretch this out over another issue, make it a 5-part miniseries instead of a 4, I think that Marcus McLaren could have really gotten out what he wanted to do in this. It's very possible that editorial gave him pressure. You need to have this done in 4 issues. Get it done. Whatever it is you want to do it. The covers, Sonny, they dropped the ball on those 100%. There was so much they could have done on the covers, and putting Scarlet Witch on the cover when she's only mentioned by name in one word balloon, and that's it. Wonder Man shares more of this issue than any of the other West Coast Avengers. Yep. The fight between Luke Cage and Wonder Man was great. That was my favorite part of the series. Of the miniseries. And Hardcore, I really hated him as a villain.
Me too.
I got invested in that. I was getting kind of pissed off. And I thought
he seemed unnecessary. He seemed like he was just shoehorned in there.
There was no reason to bring him in except for to bring him in. Okay, now we know that he's running this, but somebody's running him. And what's the reason for that?
You could have cut out the middleman.
Exactly.
You could have had the shadowy dude running everything, being the go-between to the doctor.
Exactly, and that's what it was for a little while.
Yeah.
But
yes, it was because, like I said, they didn't mention it more throughout this one. Earlier in the issues, like it appeared like Cage almost thought he killed Hardcore, and then you'd see him in the background doing more stuff. So this is when he came out like I'm still alive.
But beyond
Yeah.
all of that, beyond the faults that this story has, I had a lot of fun reading it, and I didn't necessarily power through it. But I agree that there was too much wording going on. There's too much exposition, and not enough just letting the story breathe. And I think that really suffered uh, right when hardcore showed up, and then the last issue just kind of sped things up and closed it down. With all that being said, though, I'm going to give the writing an 8. Marcus McLaren's work here, it's got me intrigued. I want to go back and read the first 4 issues, and this isn't only a 20-issue series, so I'd like to see what he was able to accomplish in 20 issues. As far as the artwork goes, I really enjoyed it. Dwayne Turner's artwork here, it was a breath of fresh air compared to the squiggly business that we see in modern day artwork that I and Gary and Sonny, I know you despise.
Yeah, I hate it.
We are not fans of that at all, and it was good to kind of go back and get some of that nostalgia artwork. Obviously, this is Marvel trying to incorporate the Image brand of artwork here. But Dwayne Turner, I think, did a really good job. I agree with you, Sonny, that some of the characters looked exactly the same, and I had a hard time differentiating who was who half the time, with the exception of Luke Cage, because the only way I could differentiate him was with his boots. But beyond that, I think his line work was tight. I think his depiction of Wonder Man was wonderful. He did a great job with Iron Man and US Agent. Yeah, I think he did really good depicting them. When he did a lot of close-ups, that turned out really well. He put a lot of attention to detail there, and I was really excited about that. Let's not forget the inking by Christopher Ivy and the colors by Michael Thomas. Both of those guys put exceptional work in there to make the book look visually appealing. Now, this is 90s goodness, ladies and gentlemen, and it is every bit of 90s that you can see here. But if you're a fan of nostalgia, this is a series that kind of flew under the radar, and it'd be good to go back and check something out. So artwork, I give an 8. Overall, I give this an 8 out of 10. I think it was a fun read. It's not the greatest story in the world, but I think that if you've never read anything about Luke Cage before, except for base surface knowledge, this is a nice solid thing to just kind of dip your toes into and see if it's something you want to go with further.
Okay, so Tim gives Cage The Evil and the Cure 8 out of 10. I give it 7.7 out of 10. Uncle Gary gives it 5.8 out of 10. So what do you
I'm the
think?
bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Way to go, hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the guy hardcore is working for.
There you go. That's right. Let me say this about the art. Even though I didn't love the art, it's certainly a hell of a lot better than most of the stuff is churned out today. So let me say that. So I'm an even harsher critic on the stuff today, but it just wasn't quite my style. You know, maybe I could Sweet Christmas. You know, maybe I could. You know what? You're
gonna up it.
I'm gonna say I'll give the art a 6.0, and I'll give the story. I'm gonna give the story a 5.8, and we'll make it. Oh no, shit, that still doesn't do it.
You want to make just the overall an even 6?
I'll give it a 6. I'm grading on the curve here.
There we go.
So I definitely thought the art was better than the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
So let's say I'll give a 6.0, so I'm not as big an asshole as I was a few minutes ago.
All right, so there we go. 6 out of 10, 7.7 out of 10, and 8 out of 10 for Cage, The Evil and the Cure.
That's going to be fun editing the number change.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you let it go.
Well, actually, I'm changing mine.
I'll put
I think I'm gonna go with. So there we go. Anybody watching, what do you think of The Evil and the Cure? Let us know in the comments. And like I said, if you always have any more,
it was shit.
If you have any more comment, if there's anything you would like to see us review, put in the comments. Let us know. We love to review things every week here on the Codex Podcast and other videos too on the Codex Station, not just here on the Codex Podcast. We always review new stories so that now we wrap that up with Cage, the Evil, and the Cure. Uncle Gary, do you have a pick yet? Have you come up with the next story arc you'd like for us to review in a couple weeks in the Codex podcast?
Since you put me on the spot with it, I already said I was leaning toward it, and y'all haven't read it. We're going to do by Mark Waid, Tower of Babel, JLA.
I'm excited.
And it has a jaw-dropping moment in it where you're like, oh, wow. And early on, and I'll have a story when we talk about it. I got to talk to Waid about that moment, and he had said for years he had this idea, and he was so scared that somebody would think of it before he got to put it on paper. So they'll leave you with that intriguing concept there. So
all right.
Yeah, Snoop, Tower of Babel is pretty
I'm excited.
good.
I've heard great things about Tower of Babel. It's a story that I've wanted to read. I just have never gotten to. I got the trade sitting right over there, so now I have a reason to grab it and read it.
There you go.
I am looking forward to it. And everyone, next week's episode of the Codex podcast is set to be Tim, Dan, and Sale. And then the following week, we should be back to the usual 3. And then, it's the summertime. A lot of it's coming up. So, so there'll be a lot of mixing and matching with us. But, still episodes of the Codex podcast will be going on every week.
Snoop used to have original art.
Wow. Damn, son. Chris, that's pretty amazing. Oh, I'll tell you something Mark Waid has told me. Mark Waid has told me that he has original art pages of Brave and the Bold 28.
Oh,
wow. The first JLA. Wow. Listen, it's pretty cool that I have a Brave and the Bold 28. Mark Waid has original pages of Brave and the Bold 28 art. Are you kidding me?
That's wonderful.
Man. I also have the Brave and the Bold 28. It's like a 5th or 6th printing, but
you got it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I think it's time we could let the episode go.
Yeah.
He sold it with his comics.
Yeah, Snoop made Snoop. But what Snoop did though, he sold a lot of stuff with his comics, and he consolidated, and he kept all his his JSA stuff. So including Golden Age JSA stuff. So he kept all his JSA books together. That's his love. And I love sending you more. I love giving you guys who lean more Marvel, the two of you, some good old DC stuff. So I get a lot of pleasure out of that. So
always good
to read.
Yeah.
All right, well, everybody, we've gone through quite an episode. We've covered quite a lot of news and random panel of the week, and the F list, and the Variant Insanity has come back and will continue to be a part of the show. We had a review of Cage, the Evil, and the Cure, and now we could say, take care, everybody. Goodbye. But I know before we end, we've got socials. And Uncle Gary, what do we want to do with them?
Well, let me tell you, and this ties into our random panel, butt pounding. So we at the Codex Station, we have all the socials. We have them all. And we would like nothing better than to give them to you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, at the Codex Station, your favorite social media platforms, and where we're live streaming right now. Please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow so you don't miss content like this all the time, every time. That's honestly the greatest way to support a small channel like this, to help us get out there to other people so they can join in on the fun that you guys have every time you're here in the chat with us. And we are so thankful that all of you in the chat are here tonight. We love you guys, and we look forward to interacting with you as much as you guys look forward to watching the show with us at the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen. And also, Sonny, after all that sun has bleached your shirts, you're going to need something new. So you might as well head over to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thecodexstation.com.
Yeah, and that's it.
Sticker.
That's it.
Oh, mug. You can get a shirt.
Yeah, and to let you nice dapper individuals in the chat know, we're doing a time switch for the Codex podcast. So next week, going forward, we're going to be moving up an hour ahead for whatever time zone you're in. So it'll be 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. We feel that is a great way to get even more of you guys in here to have as much fun as we do putting the show on for you every week. And we hope you guys will enjoy the time change, and we'll see you an hour later every week. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some kind of gnat flying from my face.
Same here.
All right.
Let's go fight these gnats, Tim.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim the Terrible. This beautiful man over here is the curator of the Library of Comics, the Uncle Gary of comic books, or Ric Flair for that matter. There we go.
Woo!
Uncle Gary himself. And down below is the PDF award winner for most podcast episodes awarded to. That would be Sonny Kruger right there. This is the Codex Podcast right here on the Codex Station. And before we get out of here, Sonny, I need to hear two beautiful words. Do you know what they are?
Gaping holes.
Oh, wow. You said that with a lot of emotion. I like how you did that.
Be still my heart.
Man.
Gaping holes.
We'll
you know
see
what caused them?
Hulk 180. Oh my God.
I thought it was butt.
That's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We'll see you later. Bye. One more time. One more.
Gaping holes.
Gaping holes.
Thank you.